Video games exist in a sort of technological bubble. A bubble that is surrounded by people who love technology, who love the games themselves, the stories, sometimes even aspects of games that mostly, either I have never perceived or others choose to dig into and find. And I find it really intriguing when I find certain aspects of gaming that really kind of resonate with me and stuff that I enjoy a lot doing. And something that I do love to do is collect. I love collecting, whether it be Funko Pops or, action figures or, other little trinkets that are associated to games. But something that I also love to collect are magazines. And a specific set of magazines that I have been collecting now since, I believe, 2009 is none other than Game Informer. Now, what I'm about to show you is only a tiny sliver of my collection. I know this is just a handful because this is all I could just grab in my hand, but I would like to let you know that I have a whole lot more in storage. But right here, as you can see, are my Game Informer magazines. I have several right here in hand. In this bundle right here, you have incredible covers like this one right here for Assassin's Creed Mirage. You have also covers for, Super Mario Wonder, which is a really popular version of Super Mario Bros, which just came out for the Nintendo Switch. I also have in here, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, which became a really popular game here. It's a really fascinating game. I also have other things as well here that really are just in a handful of these incredible covers. I have also the cover for Star Wars Outlaws. I have this incredible cover here with Kaz and the whole gang over here. And I could go on for hours. I'm just giving you guys a tiny sliver of what I have, because for me, it's things like these that I really value, that I find really intriguing, because ultimately, whichever one of these, you pick up, essentially what you're picking up is a time capsule. Now you might be asking yourself, what do you mean by a time capsule? Well, it's essentially something that you have that you could essentially go back in time and see the conversation and what games were coming out at that time in a specific way. Now, like I said, I've been collecting since 2009, so I remember clearly my very first issue of Game Informer that I had when I started collecting in 2009. And that very first issue was for BioShock Infinite. Now, I remember the cover clearly. It was like this faded, vintage-looking cover. I'll even put it up right here so you can see it. It was this beautiful vintage cover that they had, with this awesome detail. And they had other covers as well that went along with it. It was beautifully made, beautifully constructed. And I also remember they also had a Red Dead Redemption cover around the same time as well, which was really cool. Now, Game Informer isn't really about the covers. It's what's on the inside and all these incredible things that you would find. Little articles talking about moments in gaming or, moments in part of the development teams and how certain aspects of the development team would approach a certain thing in the games. And those little aspects always got to me because it allows you to connect on a more human level to these people. And I think that people without people, rather, you wouldn't be able to make games. We talk about AI, we talk about all these advancements in technology, but without people, we can't make games. And for me personally, it was a bit of a shock. And why am I talking about Game Informer right now? It's because, obviously, Game Informer unfortunately ended this year. And it was so upsetting to me because, for me, as a collector, someone who loves these, magazines and loves the little articles that you could find in there, I'm going to miss it. I'm really going to miss being able to just pick up, a magazine from Game Informer and be like, oh, so this was back in 2011 and they were, discussing Skyrim, or, it's 2015 or it's 2018 and I want to, discover what exactly is going on in gaming back then, and I wanted to pick up a cover and see that. I can still do that. Luckily, I still have my, Game Informer magazines, but I think it's so sad to not continue this. And I know that they put out a statement online saying that, unfortunately they were gonna, stop releasing it and stuff. And it was sad to me because I just renewed my Game Informer subscription to, pick it up essentially for 2 years. And I did the 2-year plan to get, directly from them. And that was the only reason why I even signed up for, Game Informer was actually kind of the only reason why I just got GameStop's Power Rewards membership. And that was the only reason why I had Power Up Rewards, was because I wanted the Game Informer stuff. And then when GameStop said that they weren't doing it anymore and that they were just leaving it behind, I got really upset because I was like, I don't want the digital format. I want this. I want the physical format so that I can pick it up and read it and see it in physical form. But I think it really is kind of sad to not be able to have that continue. I mean, I think about people, in the future who might want to go back and read these. Obviously, they're going to have to look up on eBay, and it's going to be a whole hassle to get to that point. But for me, it's sad because it's not a continuation anymore. It's something that no one is going to get to experience from this point forward. It's like the end of an era. The era of Game Informer magazine, or the era of Nintendo World, or, Sony's, PlayStation version of magazine, that sort of thing, And it shows that physical media, not in the form of discs or cartridges, but physical media as in magazines, are becoming more frail. And it's kind of losing its charm in a way. But there is hope, I guess. I think a lot of people are going to try to do their best to keep that tradition alive. And I would not be surprised if a new magazine is born from, say, the ashes of Game Informer. So, I really hope that people take this opportunity to really go back and enjoy these magazines, enjoy these articles and these stories and the reviews that people made of certain games. Like, I'm pretty sure that if you pick up a magazine that was talking about No Man's Sky back when it came out, it's going to say one thing. But if you read a magazine that came out maybe 2 or 3 years later talking about No Man's Sky, it's going to be a completely different story. So I love seeing that change in time from these magazines. And I'm really going to miss not being able to, continue on with Game Informer, because it was just a pivotal part of me, growing up. And, being that I've been a member since 2009, and I know that they've been, producing these magazines for far longer, it is surprising to see this complete change come about. So I hope that one day somebody comes up with a new magazine that I can probably subscribe to that will have this incredible range of articles and experiences. But then again, that's my opinion on Game Informer. But I want to know from you, are you going to miss Game Informer? Or is Game Informer even something you subscribed to? Are you going to hopefully find a way to, experience Game Informer now. Maybe start a collection of your own with different magazines, and maybe let's have this discussion down below, because I really loved Game Informer, and it was really upsetting to see them leave and go their own way. But I want to know from you guys. Are you as upset as I am? Or are you happy that they, closed their doors? Maybe you didn't like Game Informer. I'd like to know. I'd like to know from you down below. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified when new videos go live on this channel. And thank you so much for watching this video. And I'll see you in the next video.
Scrolling through YouTube, same old routine, then bam, movie savant, what a scene. Trivia bombshells dropping knowledge like rain. Forget the dishes, gotta watch it again. Movie buffs unite, savants to place. Subscribe and hit the bell, don't leave a trace. Next level knowledge keeps you in the loop. Savants got the scoop, ain't nothing to recoup.